you are trying to hit this huge max at the very end, and it's gonna pay off. This sheet, I'm telling you, this sheet is crazy. Like, all right, what's up YouTube? So today you wanna find out how to get a much bigger bench press, much stronger bench press. There are 3 simple steps to doing this, and while I'm going over those steps, there's gonna be some videos playing of me hitting multiple bench PRs, and we're gonna start with my first failed PR attempt, which was 215 pounds, all the way to when I hit a 365 pound bench PR. I'm Joseph Simon, or Schmojo, and I'm a natural bodybuilder. I used to powerlift, and I'm a 4.0 GPA undergraduate student studying biology, French, and neuroscience. You gotta listen to all these steps.
For the love of God, please, damn!
They're gonna help you. If they helped me, I really think they'll help you. The last one's especially crucial. It's basically a cheat sheet to just getting stronger, building more muscle in your chest, and hitting tons of PRs. Chances are you're not gonna wanna hear this first step, but I really hope you are not the dude in the gym just bouncing it off your chest like a trampoline. Like, you have to start working on your form. Obviously, it's fine to go as fast on the way up. You wanna explode as much as you can on the way up with the barbell. But when you're on the way down, you have to control it. I'd say a 2 to 3 second control is very good for just promoting muscle growth and to make sure you're not bouncing it. At the bottom of the rep, I would probably do a like half second to a second pause. You don't need to be doing that pause on your PR attempt if you're really just going for like numbers and trying to put up weight. But when you're doing these sets that are training you for your 1 rep max and are training you to just become stronger in general, I really would recommend doing a half second pause or a second pause, just because when you're in that stretched position with your chest, it's gonna promote a lot of growth. You'll be stronger at that point of your chest. You'll get more used to that range of motion, stuff like that. And just by being more stretched, like I said, more stimulus, more growth equals bigger muscles, and bigger muscles equals a stronger bench. And a lot of people make fun of this part of form, but it's actually pretty useful as long as you're not exaggerating it. But you have to arch your back. And you don't wanna arch your back like you see in some of those videos online, or just like where people genuinely look like they're trying to touch their ass to their shoulders. But like a little bit of an arch to support some leg drive is going to be very useful for you, just because you'll be able to get in a, I want to say like a better pressing position for your chest. It'll just also make your maximum force output just way better. So yeah, when you get on the bench, try to squeeze your shoulder blades together, really set a foundation with your back, and also arch your back a little bit so you have a little bit of leg drive. And all these factors combined, along with a pause, are gonna make you a lot stronger with your bench. And when you get used to this form time and time again, it's gonna be second nature, and you'll see a lot of benefits because of it. But yeah, the second step is that bench can't be the only thing that you're hitting. I'd say 4 sets of bench, maybe 5 sets are good. 4 was kind of the sweet spot for me, but I would definitely do an incline movement as well as some other pressing or fly movement for your middle chest. Aim for a total of 8 to 12 sets of chest. I'd probably start at 8, and then if you feel like your pump isn't going away at the end of 8, or you don't feel overly fatigued before the next workout, you can probably add some sets in there. And you cannot forget to train triceps too. Triceps are just as important. They help with the pressing. They help just like your front delts, your chest. And that's pretty obvious, right? Like, you'll feel a little bit of a tricep pump if you're doing bench, or the closer your grip is, you'll feel more triceps. But bench isn't going to stimulate enough growth in your triceps to have them keep up with your chest. Kind of like chest, I would just do 8 sets. Again, give or take some volume in there, but that's about the volume that I would do. And front delt training really isn't necessary if you're sufficiently training your chest, because every pressing movement that you do with chest, unless it's a fly movement, is gonna stimulate your front delts. If you're doing 8 sets of pressing, you did 8 sets of chest, but you also just did 8 sets of front delts. And flies, at least for me, are kind of towards the end of my workout. I don't really get much front delt stuff from doing flies. But yeah, you just can't be doing only bench press and expect to get stronger. You have to make sure you're growing in other areas too, and then when you come back to do bench again, they're gonna help you out like a shit ton. So before this final step, I just want to say thank you for watching. My channel is almost at 100 subscribers. That's a pretty cool milestone that would be awesome to hit. To have 100 people that I'm helping out, or you know, just one person I'm helping out, is super cool. So please consider subscribing and liking or maybe commenting. So thanks. So the final step you need to be using is this handy little sheet. So this sheet was made by my friend in my senior year of high school, and his name is Calvin. He's a competitive collegiate weightlifter. His link's gonna be in the description. It was super awesome. He had a bunch of knowledge about this stuff before I did. Basically, this sheet is 9 weeks long, I believe. I have it pulled up on my phone, actually. Yeah, it's 9 weeks. You're gonna see a ton of percentages on here. So those percentages, so let's say that you just hit a 275-pound bench PR. The next time you go for a PR max in 9 weeks, because you don't want to be trying to PR every single week. If you're doing 1 rep maxes every week, there's like no wonder that you're not hitting bigger numbers. Like, cut that shit out. At the end of those 9 weeks, say you're going for that 295-pound bench PR. Those percentages for day 1, week 1, 75% 2 singles. So you're gonna do 75% of 295. That's the PR you're going for. In week 2 and week 3, you start to get some numbers besides the percentages, and that's RPE. So if you don't know what RPE is basically the opposite of reps in reserve. So if you have a 7 RPE, that means you should have had about 3 reps left that you could do. If you have a 9 RPE, you could have done 1 more rep. RPE 10 means you could have done no more reps. And that's what you want your 1 rep max to be, is an RPE 10. So in week 2, you have 2 more singles on day 1, and you have 78% of 295, and it's at RPE 5. So you want to make sure you could have done about 5 more reps of that. And yeah, on day 3, you do 3-second paused bench, very lightweight, and the percentages just start to increase week to week. In week 5, you get a little bit of a deload, trying to rest you because you don't want to be going balls to the wall for 9 weeks straight. You need a little bit of a break in between there. Just as we mentioned earlier, you got to be training other things. I do recommend that you train your chest and triceps lighter that week as well to give them a little bit of a break. It's also just a good recommendation in general for hypertrophy and strength training. You want to deload every like 5 to 6 weeks. I do 6 weeks. Some people do every 8 weeks. As long as you're getting a deload, it is very helpful. And then yeah, you build all the way up to week 9, where on the 2nd day of bench, you warm up and you're hopefully going for that new PR. So what happens if you're doing a set and the RPE is higher than what you think you just hit? Let's say in week 6, you just did 87% of that 295, and you just did 2 singles, and it was supposed to be at RPE 7. So you hit those 2 singles, and you're like, that was light as shit. So maybe you want to bump that desired max up like by 5 or 10 pounds. So bump it up by 10 pounds. That's what I would do, but I'm kind of an ego lifter. After bumping it up by 10 pounds, you adjust the following percentages. So the same week, week 7, day 1, after you hit those 2 singles at RPE 7, they're too light, you up the weight on your desired max, and then you calculated your 77% 5x5. It's going to be a little bit heavier than it would have been had you not changed that. Do that for the weeks you feel strong. If it feels like it's too heavy, you may need to bump down your desired max. All I'm saying is that don't get too greedy, don't get too egotistical with it. You're trying to hit this huge max at the very end, and it's going to pay off. This sheet, I'm telling you, this sheet is crazy. Like, I went from 275 to 365 from the sheet because I started to plateau, and it broke me through those plateaus so easy because I didn't know what I was doing. So shout out Calvin, that was awesome. I really wish I could power lift, but I really wish I could power lift. That would be super cool. I hope this sheet helps you out. I hope those other tips helped you out. Let me know what you thought about the video in the comments. Let me know any other video ideas you might want. But yeah, consider subscribing. I'm glad you've watched this far. Leave a like. I will see you guys in the next video I make. Thanks.